Hello. Let's not talk about the elephant in the room. Let's talk about another animal. The squirrel in the room. I just needle felted this little cute gray squirrel, and she's holding an acorn. And I also made a little toy soldier. Why would I do that? Excellent question. You may have heard somewhere in social media that a friend of mine just gifted me my favorite book from when I was a little clown, shall we say. And I lost it, like in life, you know, when you move and whatever. So I lost it, and she heard me talking about this, and do you know, she went and got me this book. I almost had a heart attack. This is my most favorite book from when I was little. It's called Miss Suzy, and it's a story about a gray squirrel. This would be Miss Suzy. It's hard to see in this light. Hello. And her life story, basically. Not that it's a true story. I know, okay? But to me, it's the greatest. So I'm gonna read it to you. This is it right here. Can you see where she lived? She lived in the top of a tree in her little squirrel house. Page 1. Oh, I should tell you, the author is Miriam Young, and the pictures are by Arnold Lobel. They were around way back in the 1800s when I was a little kid. Here we go. Miss Suzy was a little gray squirrel who lived all by herself in the tip top of a tall oak tree. She liked to cook, she liked to clean, and she liked to sing while she worked. Page 2. Every morning, and I'll show you the pictures. Every morning, Miss Suzy made herself a bowl of acorn pudding. I think that must be like oatmeal, not sure. And as she stirred it around, she sang, "Oh, I love to cook, I love to bake, I guess I'll make an acorn cake." I remember that song so well from when I was little. It was in the top 10. After she swept the crumbs from her moss carpet that she made with a little broom that she made from maple twigs. And then she dusted her firefly lamps and rinsed her acorn cups and put her whole house in order. Why do I love Miss Suzy? Because she was like the original Martha Stewart. She kept her house tidy and clean, and she was pretty creative. Page 3. At night, Miss Suzy climbed into bed. Can you see that little house in the dark? And she looked through the topmost branches at the sky. She saw 1,000,000 stars, and the wind blew gently and rocked her to sleep. It was very peaceful. Oh, I bet it was. I would love to live in a treehouse. I'm not even kidding you. Okay, page 4, I think. This is when it gets scary, so prepare yourselves. But one day, see those guys? A handful of a band actually, of red squirrels came jumping and chattering to the foot of the tree, where Miss Suzy lived. They were quarrelsome fellows, and they liked fighting so much, they even fought amongst themselves. Sound like anybody you know? It could be. Okay, I think page 5, are we on? Miss Suzy did not see them because she was in her kitchen, and she did not hear them because she was singing again. I love my house, oh yes sir-ee, my own little house in my own oak tree. She was just putting her cake in the oven when she looked up and saw a lot of strangers in her doorway. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3 more, 6 red meanie pants squirrels. I am embellishing. That's how they make me crazy. Can you see? They chased her out of her little house. Now I'm ripping mad, okay? They broke her broom and they threw out her acorn cups. I will have my way with them. Then they ate up her whole winter supply of nuts. These are some bad apples, I'm just gonna say. Squirrels that were not taught good behavior. Poor Miss Susie. She didn't know where to go. And while she stood, wondering what to do, don't you know, it starts to rain. Hello. It just keeps building on this. She scampered up the nearest tree. It was a maple standing beside an old house. She ran out on a branch and she dropped down to the roof. The rain came down so hard and her fur was all wet. She was shivering and cold. Miss Susie scrambled down the chimney of the old house and out of a hole in the chimney, and she landed in the attic. Can you see this house? It looks kind of cool and a little spooky. There in the dusty, quiet attic, she saw a beautiful dollhouse. It was big enough for a whole family of dolls. She knocked at the door. There was no answer, so she peeked inside. Yes, she did. Look at this beautiful house. Isn't that lovely? Does anybody have a dollhouse? Do you love decorating it? I love decorating dollhouses. My, what a lovely house, thought Miss Susie. It is fit for a queen, but it needs a good housekeeper. So it is just the place for me. She starts cleaning the place. The flowered carpets were covered with dust and cobwebs and clung to the gold chandeliers. There was dust on the black iron stove in the kitchen and on the little piano in the parlor. There was even dust on the china closet in the dining room and a spider web on the dishes inside. She's like, I got work to do, okay? Here we go. See if you can see. When it is cleaned, it will be a good house for the winter, said Miss Susie to herself. You see, she stopped worrying about the old stuff. She was on to the new stuff. That's what I'm talking about. She is positive. But what a shame there is no one to share it with me. It's so big. She cleaned the whole first floor, and then she went upstairs. She cleaned the bedrooms. Then she climbed into the four-poster bed and fell asleep. Snorville. She was tired. It's a big day, cleaning this whole house. It's a Victorian, I believe. The next morning, Miss Susie was hungry, and she left the dollhouse to go looking for nuts or seeds. On her way to the attic window, Miss Susie saw a box. What does she do? Just the thing to keep my nuts and seeds in, she thought. She opened it up. What do you think she found inside? A band of toy soldiers. They had been sleeping there for years. Enter Mr. Soldier. There he is. Oh. Matchy. Okay, thanks for setting us free, said the soldiers. The captain actually said it. And now I need a place for us to live. Oh, do come stay with me, said Miss Susie. They were like psyched. She set them free, and now she invites them to stay right in the big old house. So the toy soldiers marched into the big dollhouse, and Miss Susie took care of them like a mother. She cooked their meals in the little kitchen. She served them in the dining room. At night, she told them stories and tucked them into their four-poster beds. The soldiers were very happy, and most of the time, Miss Susie was happy too, but not always. I guess she wasn't 100% in the future. She was thinking about the past a little. Sometimes she looked at the flowered carpets and the red china dishes and gold chandelier, and she sighed, thinking of her plain moss carpet and her firefly lamps and her little acorn cups. One night in the spring, instead of telling the soldiers a story, she told them about her old house in the oak tree, and then she told them how the red squirrels came and chased her away, and a tear rolled down her cheek. Makes me sad. Late that night, the captain woke his men and gave them their orders. There were only 5 of them, but they were very brave, and their hearts were full of love. After all, Miss Susie had cared for them all winter. And they're not having it, okay? This is, let's go over to the old tree house and have a look-see. Look at this. They walk right up the tree. They just walk right up. It says they marched up the oak tree, and scaled the trunk. And the red squirrels were inside fighting amongst themselves as usual. This has gone all winter. Ridiculous, okay? They're gangsta. They were making so much noise they didn't even hear the soldiers until it was too late. Oh, look at this. They stormed right in to protect her. "This is Miss Susie's house," said the captain, drawing his sword. "Will you go peaceably or must we fight?" I don't usually condone fighting. I prefer a conversation. But this is how it went, okay? This is history I'm reading here. The red squirrels looked at the soldiers with their shining swords and brave faces, and one by one they scurried headfirst down the tree. "And don't come back." That's what the captain said. Don't even think about it. Miss Susie was overjoyed when she heard she could move back into her treehouse in the old oak tree. She thanked the toy soldiers and made them promise to come for dinner once a week, Sunday dinner. I think she might have been Italian. Just thinking out loud. And then the soldiers waved goodbye and marched off into the forest, singing merrily. How adorable. Miss Susie had worked to make her house neat and cozy again as it was before, but she didn't mind. She made new moss carpets, she made a new broom, and gathered fresh acorns for cups, and caught 2 fireflies for her lamps. Did you guys ever catch fireflies? You know they light up and you could put them in a jar, just for a little while though, because you don't want to, you just want them to still light up, okay? She made the garbage, she made the cups, and then at last everything was in order. And that night she went to bed. She was very tired, but she looked through the branches. She could see 1,000,000 stars once again. The wind blew gently and rocked the tree like a cradle. It was very peaceful, and Miss Susie was very happy once more. I'm just gonna say it. A lot of these authors forget to write those 2 final words. The end. And that is my favorite book from when I was little. Now, if you guys have a favorite book, you can send it to me. Some people did send me the titles of their favorite books, and I think I'm gonna pick them up. Maybe I'll make some creatures to go with those books and read you another story. And there you have it. Happy reading, everybody. See you later. Say goodbye, Mr. Banana.
Goodbye.
Bye.